What is up, guys? Minishi coming with you with a discussion video. Now yesterday, as we all know, the Nintendo NX was revealed to be the Nintendo Switch. It has received mixed opinions, but mostly positive ones, which speak for the attention it's harnessing. This discussion video will talk about the potential concepts that need to be tapped in order for us to see Nintendo step in the right direction with this new homing gaming console. Now the hype still lingers, and I was pretty hyped myself upon the reveal. But remember, there are some important concepts that everyone should keep in mind about this product. And that is, number one, the battery life. A concept often talked about in a number of reaction videos, and an important concept mainly because you got AAA games played on it. And that could suck batteries faster than a prostitute. But this is Nintendo, so they have made some unique handhelds with reasonable battery life. Let's just hope the battery life meets up to expectations for this Nintendo Switch pad. The battery is considered to be the most important thing because it determines how long of usability we can have it on the outside. If the battery does not last long, it defeats the purpose. The whole main gimmick feature, which you may call it, of the Nintendo Switch. It will defeat the purpose. If the battery is to our expectations, everything will go fine. Number 2, touchscreen and gyroscope. This is the least important concept, but two features that was not covered in the original trailer, and rarely spoken about in other reactions as I've taken my views. With some exceptional analysis videos, like Game Explained and so forth, but many people feel this Nintendo Switch pad should have a touchscreen and gyroscope, but the only showcase game that utilized these features was Splatoon. Now, could they be that they never showed it off, and perhaps so, or could they simply program everything to be touch-based to be used on a controller? Who knows? I personally feel that this pad could survive without the touchscreen and gyroscope, mainly because all the best games rarely rely on these features. In the long run, if it does have these features, it could be useful for the virtual console for the DS as well as Wii U ports and potentially play the 3DS games. Number 3. It's a hybrid. Another small concept, but many people seem to believe that the Switch could damage the 3DS in its performance. While I may not precisely know the impact and nobody will know, I feel that people should not exaggerate and recognize that the Nintendo Switch is meant to be a portable console, a step up to the handhelds in today's market, but not exactly competing with them. The Nintendo Switch will have games that you normally could not play on the go. And speaking of games, number 4, the games. If you take a look at this image, these are the listed developers that desire to support the Nintendo Switch by having their games on it, and that is impressive. And this is the most important concept for the system, for any system, period. The games. You can have a supercomputer or super console that does everything perfectly, but if the selection of games sucks, then everything goes downhill from there. A good example of this for Nintendo when they were at their prime of having something to come out that was powerful was the Nintendo GameCube. It was pretty powerful against the PlayStation 2. But what happened? The PlayStation 2 has a humongous library of games, and that attracts the audience. If Nintendo wants to make the best out of the Nintendo Switch and take what they've learned from the Wii U, they need to deliver on these games. These developers are ready to program, and there are many confirmations and rumors saying that they're ready and yada yada so forth. Nintendo needs to make the system perform up to par with the PS4 and Xbox One. This may include the topic of power and horsepower and graphics card, but the games are the most important. If it can be close to those competing. Nintendo doesn't want to compete ever with Sony and Microsoft, but it's what's important because it's what third-party developers are seeking. That Nintendo comes out with more first-party games and third-party developers come out with their games. And that is pretty much all I can say. I cannot stress that enough. If the Nintendo Switch comes out with few games and barely anything, I myself am a big Nintendo fan. But if I see that there are no games that interest me, I will not purchase it. And it makes absolute sense. I was so skeptical for the Wii U, the PS4, the Xbox One. There are some people I know who have it, but in the long run, each console seems to have a suffering library with a few selection of games. And that is the most important thing for the Nintendo Switch. Pretty much for any system. And that's one problem for the current generation console. The games are lacking. Now, this is my opinion. You can have a PS4, Xbox One, or Wii U and have many games that you like on it. But for me personally, the Wii U for me has the most interesting titles that are fun. Now, there are some for PS4 and Xbox One, like, what was it? Rare Replay, Dark Souls, so forth. But they're just up to my fingers I can count. That's where I want to say the games are the most important, and that is pretty much the thing. If we want to see Nintendo succeed on this, they gotta come out with the games. And that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and have a fantastic day. Manishi is out.